In this video, I want to compare the Vetanya Alligator step-through e-bike to the Aventon Aventure 2 e-bike. Both of these are fat tire e-bikes. They have a lot in common and they have some differences as well that I mainly want to cover in this video to see which one might be the better fit for you. I have full reviews on both of these products that I'll put in the description below for you to check out, and I'll also put links to the e-bikes themselves if you end up wanting to purchase any of them as well. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the price. At the time of this recording, the Aventon e-bike comes in at $1,800, whereas the Vetanya e-bike only comes in at $1,200. So you're going to save $600 if you go with this one. So if you're trying to save some money, this might be the better option for you. But there is a reason that this is also cheaper. The first reason is because this is a cadence sensor. So if you upgrade to their torque sensor, it's going to be $1,400 instead of $1,200, so it adds $200. And this one comes with a torque sensor, so this is a smoother ride. So the difference between a torque sensor and a cadence sensor is that the torque sensor is going to be more adaptive when you pedal. As you pedal harder, the e-bike will go faster. As you pedal softer, it's going to go slower. So this is a way more natural feeling ride. It's way more comfortable to actually ride. Whenever I take my friends out riding e-bikes, they always prefer the feel of this over a cadence sensor because the cadence sensor just provides a lot of power, and no matter if you're pedaling soft or hard, you just go at your set speed. So that's the one downfall with this, but I personally think it depends how you like to ride, because if you don't want to exert a lot of energy, then a cadence sensor could be awesome for you because this does a lot of the work for you, and cadence sensors oftentimes feel like they have more power. Even though the motor size is the same between these two e-bikes, a cadence sensor feels like it has more power because the motor engages and it brings you right up to speed no matter how hard you're pedaling. So you can definitely feel the assistance when you ride this e-bike. So that's one of the main differences between these two products that I want to point out right off the bat. Now, some things that are similar between these two e-bikes is that they both have fat tire e-bikes that have pretty decent tread on both of them, so you have pretty good traction if you're riding in sand or unsmooth terrain. They're pretty decent. They also have included fenders. They also have front suspension. The Vetanya e-bike has a seat post with suspension, but I honestly feel like that doesn't do you much good at all. I still think this is a bumpy ride because the seat is so firm that this e-bike doesn't quite feel comfortable absorbing the shocks in the seat. But with the Aventon Aventure 2, I also swapped out the seat because this is a more comfortable seat. This other accessory seat that I ended up purchasing, this feels more comfortable. So they're really comparable because I feel like this little seat post doesn't actually do a whole lot. So as far as the suspension goes, they're pretty on par with each other. They also both come with rear racks, which are really convenient. And then they also both have integrated lights, headlights, tail lights. The only advantage about the Aventure 2 is that it comes with blinkers on their tail lights, so you can signal to people which way you're turning. I don't know if you care about that feature or if you ride at nighttime. Maybe you appreciate that feature more. It does feel a little bit nicer riding this with the technology than this one. I will say that the lights do feel kind of cool, and the screen layout is a lot cleaner on the Aventon one. This one, I've seen this same screen layout in other e-bikes that I have. It just doesn't look as clean as this one, and it doesn't display the battery life in actual numbers. It shows it in bars, so you don't know exactly how much battery life you have, where this says exactly like you're at 55%, you know. So this is a better, clear indicator of how much battery life you have. So I do feel like the technology in the Aventure 2 is a little bit nicer. They both have straightforward handlebars as well, but another difference is the Vetanya Alligator e-bike has a little twist throttle on it, where this one has a left-handed thumb throttle. I think I personally prefer a thumb throttle, but I know that that's a pretty split difference. Some people really like twist throttles better, actually, so it probably depends on you, but I personally like a thumb throttle better. So that's a difference. And then they also have different shifters. So this one has a 7-speed thumb shifter. This one has an 8-speed trigger shifter. The trigger shifter is better. I like the way it feels, it operates. It feels smoother shifting between years on this versus this one. It's still easy and it's not hard at all, but it just feels nicer on this one. According to the website, the Vetanya e-bike also has a longer range battery, where this one advertises 70 to 90 miles on one charge versus the Aventon one only advertises up to 60 miles on one charge. So you might be able to get more range with the Vetanya e-bike, and this battery does feel larger. The one difference though is I like the battery placement on the Aventon. Because it's on the side, it's easier to pop in and out and it's easier to access. This one is underneath, so you're always fighting the tire here when you're taking it in and out. And to be able to actually put the battery in, you need the keys to be able to lock it into place, versus this one just snaps into place. You don't need the key to lock it securely in there. So this one is better placement and easier to take in and out. The one thing that I do like a little bit better about the Vetanya though is once you get the battery in there, all you have to do is hit this M button, hold it, and it'll turn on your e-bike. For the Aventon one, you have to hit this button on the side of the battery, and then you have to turn on your control panel to turn the e-bike on. So it's a two-step process. It's probably a little bit safer because you're actually turning your battery on and off, but I like the convenience of just being able to turn my e-bike on and go versus like a two-step process. So that's just me. That's a personal take, I guess, on the whole battery situation. Both of these e-bikes look really clean in person. I like this glossy paint on the Vetanya. It looks really sharp, but then also this more matted look looks really nice as well. I've honestly put more miles on this one, so it's a little bit more rugged and has a few more scrapes on it than this one, just because I've been riding this a ton. But this one still looks nice. It actually seems like it's a little bit thicker. Like I said, I feel like the battery's slightly bigger on this one than the Aventon one. I think that's about it. Those are the main differences that I noticed. As far as the riding experience goes, again, this one has a torque sensor, so it feels really smooth and natural to ride. I honestly prefer taking this one out when I want to like leisurely ride and control how fast I'm going, how slow I'm going. This one feels really nice, but this one does a lot of the work for you if you don't feel like putting in a lot of effort. So when I take this one out, it's mainly because I don't feel like pedaling. I just want to get up to town and head back quickly. So this is really nice to be able to do that. And if you ride it in like pedal assist level 1, it still only goes like 10 miles an hour. So you can still cruise at slow speeds, but the motor feels like it's doing a lot of the work for you, especially once you hit fast speeds with this. You lose a lot of the resistance with your pedals when you're going at its top speeds, just because I don't feel like there's enough resistance in the chain and stuff. So you do lose a little bit of resistance with this. The one thing that I would say about this though is it feels like it's easier to get to its top speed rather than the Aventon. This one, since it's a torque sensor, you do have to put in a lot of effort to bring it up to 28 miles an hour, versus this one, I feel like it gets there a lot easier because it's a cadence sensor. So if your goal is to just ride fast all the time, then this might be a better option for you. So what are my thoughts after all of this? If you're trying to save some money, this is a great solid choice for you. It's $600 cheaper. It's still a nice e-bike. You're gonna have a lot of fun on it. If you want to splurge and you appreciate some of the nicer upgrades with having a torque sensor, better battery placement, better screen, better lights on it, then this one might be your better choice. Like I said, I oftentimes take this one out instead of this one, just because it's a little bit more comfortable for me to ride. But this is also $600 more expensive. So I guess it depends up to you which one might be better suited for you. Honestly, I feel like they're both great choices. I feel like you'll be pleased with both of them. So it might just be down to your circumstances. So hopefully this video was helpful, and that's about all. That's about it. Yeah. Have a nice day.